All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakah HaKadash, and double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And first off, I want to say Shalom to the ones that push this word out in truth and in sincerity, which are the apostles and elders on down to the brothers. Right? Shalom to the ones that endured this faith until the very end, until the time of Jacob's troubles, which are, again, the apostles and elders on down to the brothers and a few sisters. Right? So, Shalom. So, I want to do this, video pretty much based on something I've been looking into, this week. Right? Out of every war so far, man, every war that America has had, from World War One, even the Boston Massacre, the Sand Creek Massacre, the Bear River Massacre, all these different wars, the Civil War, right? The Revolutionary War, they had massacres in between. That's one pattern I've noticed, right? America has had, I don't know how many wars, right? The most recent one, the War of Afghanistan, that was like 20 years or so. They're trying to get involved with the Russia and Ukraine war. Every war that they're always involved in. Why? Right? After World War II, which was in 1939, man, you had what? Right? You had what? The Cold War, the Korean War. You had the main one I'm going into, man, is the Vietnam War. That was probably the most bullshit one. Right? The main events of the Vietnam War, right, in 1955, and it only lasted until like 1975. What was that about? Because the main pattern I noticed with these wars is that they cause, first, separation, and two, they spend more money, in the war for what? Nothing. They don't gain much. The Vietnam War, they lost. Right? They lost that war. At this point, that was like a two children just fighting. And it's not even going anywhere. They ran up a lot of debt by spending millions of dollars. That's Habakkuk 2. They laid themselves in thick clay. They run up the debt for, if anything, they're spending more money and having their own soldiers being killed and killing than to get anything out of it. The Vietnam War, man, they got nothing out of that. The only thing they got out of it is escalating the war. That's the main point. All they do is escalate wars, and that's the nature, of the rulers of darkness, right? That's all they do. They escalate things till this day, right? Around the 60s, what did you have? You had Kennedy, you had Lyndon Johnson, you had Richard Nixon, right? Lyndon Baines Johnson, man, he escalated the war. He started setting up programs. First of all, they was drafting people. They set up programs. They separated the North Vietnam and South Vietnam. They separated it. America was dwelling in the South, and they was fighting against the North, right? And then they had a massacre right in between that war as well. Not sure if anybody knew that, right? They called it the My Lai massacre. But they separated that. They started setting up these programs. One of them was it's an operation. They called it Operation Rolling Thunder. They started bombing the North, which ended up in casualties, such as civilians. That's another war law that they broke again for I don't know how many times. How long is this going to go? Right? How long is this going to go? Because everywhere they go, it seems that they cause, the same outburst, right? And what did they do? They escalated the war and they kept going, and they earned nothing out of it. It just kept repeating in the same thing. Over 60,000, people were killed or injured. And then what? They was outnumbered. How many times? Right? Each time they tried, and they was just outnumbered. They did nothing but cause death and destruction. That's all this man is known for. A lot of Vietnamese was, killed in crossfire. You drafted soldiers into your American military just to get killed for nothing. Just because you chose to escalate the war. So, I want to start off with Job 30:3. It says, "For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste." This is going into a description of these people, the rulers of darkness. How vile of a creature they were. Shit, even when they get into a political standard, they are still vile because they will shoot and kill anything they want. Shit, they see a chariot, they shoot at it. That's their first intention. Anything that is, wars, you're hearing of wars and rumors of wars, right? Why? Because this man cannot stay out of wars. Shit, it don't even have to be a war that involves them. They will get involved. The Russia and Ukraine, they're trying to get involved with that. Wonder how that works. So, it's verse 4, it says, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as a thief. Right? So, again, that's all this man is, a thief. You're in this war. You're literally setting up camps in South Vietnam. That's not even your land. I thought America was so great. But they can't keep at home. So it says to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Who is the only one who do that? Right? Who are the ones who dwell in the caves, as Obadiah states, right? The clefts of the rocks. At times whose habitations are high. That's the rulers of darkness. So it says, among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools. Here's the main point. Yeah, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. And this is a prime example. They are more vile than the earth. Shit, they caused the earth to mourn. Every damn thing that they do, it results in a bombing. Why? Why did they? I did a video on that. The Manhattan Project. Why did they have to research so much into how to build a super weapon? That destroys and ruptures atoms and causes it to split so many times. The nuclear fission would cause it to split so many times until it dissipates. Why? Who would want to research so bad, right, for something that can literally just disintegrate? That shows, that they're children of fools. There's really no need to do that. They're vile. They're sick. But here's another reason why, right? It's the 2 Thessalonians 2:2. It says, that ye be not soon shaken in mind or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as the day of Yahweh Shai is at hand, right? So the day of the Lord is coming, right? We're not going to be shaken in mind, because through that process, we're going to go through tribulation. What happened back then, all throughout these generations, man, they've been drafted people, that's coming back, right? That's why they sign you up even now, for the selective services, right? That's for the drafting, and honestly, that tradition, the elder went into that, the elder here of Baltimore, he went into that, that's really a common tradition that we even had in Israel, right? At a certain age, you sign up for the war, right? For a war, right? To protect your land, which, yes, that is actually a right thing to do, but it's wrong in this society, right? Why? Because this is not our land. If we was in Israel right now, then yeah, we're in Babylon, right? The harlot. This is not our land. We was put into slavery here. We're not to become, centurions. We're not going to sign up and fight for this, especially this society. So we're not going. Through the spirit of Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that's why Ephesians 6:10, right? You put on the whole armor of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because then you wouldn't be troubled, right? Prayer. These things are going to come to pass. Wars, drafting, being kicked, military kicking in the door, dragging you out. Being imprisoned, tortured, mentally tried, spiritually tried. You got to have faith. Because again, this man is vile. That's also Revelation 12:12. He's coming down with great wrath. Why? Because he knows that he has but a short time. So he knows that his time, is coming to an end. So it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, right? The son of destruction. That's all this man has ever been, the son of destruction. During the Vietnam War, man, when it was already calming down by like 1970 or the late 60s. But what did Nixon do? He claimed that he was, concluding the war, which eventually he did. But he started bombing along the trail of Cambodia, right, which caused riots eventually. So why do you, again, this man is vile. He is the devil. And all he will be is the devil. So, again, the son of perdition, the son of destruction. And I mentioned before, who they call the father of all bombs. Really, the father of all bombs is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. But Oppenheimer, right, they tested the first bomb, the nuclear bomb, and he started quoting out of the Buddhists. In fact, the Vietnamese, they into the Buddhism, or what we call Buddhism, right? He started quoting, he said, I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. Now, whenever you get your hands on a weapon like that and start quoting things like that, that's them believing that they're God, right? That is the son of perdition, right? And it says it right here, this verse 4. It says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, shewing himself that he is God. right? He's trying to play himself as Yahweh. And that can't happen. Because as Malachi 1:4 says, they say that we are impoverished, but they shall build, but I will throw down. Right? You think that you can get over, man, the Lord is going to throw down, meaning he's going to destroy this place. You will build, you can build all your militaries, you can build your nuclear weapons, man. All y'all ever been good for is setting yourself up for failure. Right? Through the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man, this place will be thrown down. Right? That's why we say Shalach Rayam. Right? Send evil and destruction upon this society. No longer, will we be oppressed. Right? We gotta wait upon Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Because y'all time is up. And y'all see it. That's why y'all keep having these wars. That's why y'all have these military weapons in store. Y'all don't just have them sitting there for no reason, collecting dust. So, by the Lord's will, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and Shalom.